Is this the first video of 2026? I think it is. Caitlin has a lot of things I want to get off my mind, okay? Well, not necessarily. I just thought this would be an interesting video. It is the beginning of 2026, and that means new year, new yarn stash. We need to do something about the situation. The long-term goal for my yarn collection is to fit everything in this trunk, just this trunk. But the issue right now is that this entire trunk is filled with yarn. So I can't put like my yarn winder or my crochet accessories or my knitting needles. I can't put any of that in here. And I stray from scrap yarn projects because I don't know what I have. So it's time to go through everything and see what I have. So we're just gonna sit here, and while I'm winding my yarn, you're gonna get to listen to me rant about what I learned in 2025 highlight, and all my goals and stuff, and you know, resolutions, etc. are for 2026, I think. Yeah, that's what I wrote here. I'm realizing right now I need to get my yarn winder out. I got it. I'm attaching it to my cat's tree. I think I'm just going to wind them and then stack them up here. First thing I wanted to yap about is all the chat that I learned in 2025, because I learned a lot. I very much learned about a lot about my professional self this year, and I'm really I didn't think about the sound aspect of this. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot professionally this year. I very famously went through my quarter life crisis. I don't know why I'm putting parentheses around it. It was a quarter life crisis. But in that crisis, I learned a lot of things. I learned that what's the meaning of life? Just live it. Just do whatever you want, literally. Hannah Montana was right. Life's what you make it. Because it is. I think that's why I put in here that I think I learned how to think outside the box. I think that's why I put it, because I think I finally understand when people say life's what you make it, and it really is. It's just a matter of doing the thing, and I feel like it takes a very out-of-the-box thinker to do the thing. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think I'm making any sense, but I don't know. There's just so many things that people wish they could have done, so many lives people wish they could have lived, and at the end of my life, I don't want to be that person. My quarter life crisis was heavily about me feeling behind, because I felt well, I technically graduated from college late, and then I spent a whole year after college doing nothing. I just kind of had a wake-up call where I was oh shoot, my life's happening right now. I've always planned and anticipated the end of school. Well, I feel a lot of people don't realize that you live a life after school. Everyone growing up tells you what are you gonna do with your life? Oh, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna what if this, I'm gonna do that. But you could do anything. I don't know. I feel I sound yeah, Caitlin, obviously, but it didn't really hit me until this year. In just 1 year, I've learned so much. I met so many people. All it took was me doing the thing, just applying to the thing, just showing up to whatever someone invited you to, getting tickets for that event, even if you're gonna go alone. I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. And that really, I'm not even kidding, changed my life. Either that or my frontal lobe is developed. I also learned to kind of say no to stuff. I realized I don't have to be anywhere that I don't want to be. Just because I'm in a stage in my career where I need to network and meet everybody and be nice to everyone, you know, just make the connections. And it's okay for me to say no to an opportunity because I don't want to work with those specific people. Or it's okay for me if I met this person at this event and I didn't end up getting their Instagram. That's fine. I don't have to be buddy friends with everybody, because truthfully, what's happening? I was trying to say that I learned how to choose myself this year a lot, whether it was professionally, whether it was in friendships, whether it was romantically. I listened to my listen to your heart. I really listened to my gut and my intuition. I only allowed myself to stay in the places where I felt the most comfortable, and I've learned to say no to things that are just not for me. I feel it's a thing. Everyone's choose yourself, choose yourself. But none of us. Do we really choose ourselves? When was the last time you chose yourself? Exactly. I chose myself so many times this year. Felix. I don't know, I just feel I've made so much progress. But no one sees it because it's not on the internet. I grew a lot in 2025. I think my frontal lobe truly did develop. I know I make jokes about that all the time, but genuinely after my quarter life crisis, I was my frontal lobe is developed. I understand life now. Genuinely, I think what I have gotten figured out in less than 6 months, and then I had the biggest comeback of all time. I feel I'm gonna sound so full of myself this entire video. But I'm proud of myself, okay? I did a lot this year. There's no way. This is gonna take forever. I don't think I thought this through. I think once I wind up all the yarn, it's just gonna be a lot smaller and it'll be easier to pack. That basket over there is, it's my 2024 temperature blanket that I had yet to finish. I know what year it is. I know what year it is now, but I have to finish that. But that's what's in that basket. So, you know, it's gonna stay like that until I finish the blanket. I'm sorry. In here, I have another work in progress, and it's a tapestry, so it's attached to a lot of colors right now. So I think I need to distinguish, like, maybe I can put my blanket in this little kitty cat, and then the rest of the yarn in here will fit in here when I'm done winding it, maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna play music, I guess. I'll see you guys later. So it's the next day. Look at this. Look at that. I was gonna keep going, but I checked the time and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, ugh. Also, I slept with all this yarn on my bed, by the way. I slept very uncomfortably, but I do that all the time, so I digress. Any yarn that needed to get wound and was like in my trunk has been rewound. I have a few intact skeins of yarn, like, that I haven't touched, that are still in my trunk. So we'll do like a whole organization thing later. I still have to go through this. So while I go through that, I'm gonna yap to you guys a little bit more. I think yesterday I was talking to you guys about everything I learned in 2025, and I feel like I did a really bad job at explaining it. But long story short, just in case everything I said last night didn't make any sense, the overall lesson I learned in 2025 was that I can do anything. And I don't mean like you can do anything you set your mind to, which is true, and I finally believe that for the first time in my life. Like, personally, I do think I can do whatever I set my mind to. I learned courage last year. I learned to do things scared. I did a lot of stuff last year that I think, like, high school Caitlin or even like college Caitlin would be like, there's no way you did that. Like, I think at some point I went speed dating and I didn't go because I was like, oh, I want to find somebody. It was more so because I felt like I was in a rut, and I felt like I wanted to meet new people and expand my social circle. And I went, and it was fun, and I ended up making a couple friends, and it was cool, and I'm glad I did it. And that was, I think, the beginning of me doing everything I wanted to do last year. You know what? Let's just go into the next segment, okay? 2025 highlights. So much happened last year, and it truly, genuinely, I feel like I've grown into a new person, but I like who this person is. I truly think I am the most myself I have ever been. First 2025 highlight, I went to New York. You guys have seen the vlog, you guys know I went, but holy crap, did that New York trip open my eyes. I want to go back. We're basically there for a weekend, and in those few days I literally was like, I want to come back, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to explore. There's just so much of New York to do and see that I have to go back. It was so fun. I think though the New York trip really opened my eyes, because when you get to New York, it feels like the movies. Like, it's such, I said this in my video so many times, it's such New York. All the stereotypes that there are of New York, all of the, like, the way New York feels and how it looks and whatever, that's how New York feels and looks. It's just bustling. It's like the hustle bustle of the city. I loved it. I feel like a lot of people don't like how fast New York moves, but I loved it because it feels like everyone has somewhere to be, something to do, someone to see, and I don't know, as a Capricorn, that's my favorite thing on the planet. It was just like inspiring to be there because New York has a way, in my opinion, of making you feel so small yet so big. Does that make sense? I think that's the first time this year that I truly felt like life is what you make it, and I feel like New York is one of the places where you're able to make life whatever you want your life to be. I saw Chaperone live this year. It was so fun. I saw her in Pasadena. I went with a friend that I had met at an event that I forced myself to go to by myself. A few weeks later, she invited me to go to the Chapel concert with her, and I went. She brought along a couple of her friends, and it was just so much fun. It was set up like a festival, so it was outside, there was tents, there was a big stage. She brought out Trixie Mattel to DJ as an opener. There were other drag queens. It was so fun, and just the whole vibe there was just amazing. It felt like community, and it just felt like I belonged there. And to go with the people that I went with, even though I barely knew them, those were some of the first connections I made this year, that like new connections that I made this year that I felt were worth carrying into like the new chapter of my life, because I had known them for such a short amount of time, but at the concert it was like we were all immediately besties already. And one of the girls that was at the concert was the one that told me to apply to Warner Brothers. We didn't directly work with each other, but we would see each other, you know, on our 10s in between lunch breaks, etc. We would walk around Stars Hollow a little bit. It was cool. I'm glad that I have those connections now. Yeah, speaking of Warner Brothers again, yeah, like I said, I was a server at the Dragonfly Inn. I met so many cool people. We went out for drinks all together that last weekend, and then I ended up at a karaoke club. I don't know, and this is, I think, a good example of like doing the thing, because a part of me was like, I don't want to work at Warner Brothers. Like, I'm not gonna actually be working on any kind of film project, so like what's the point? But then I realized, like, why not? Like, I'm just gonna go to be on the lot. Who knows? Literally, who knows what will happen? On the very first day, I got off work pretty early, and so I decided to walk around Stars Hollow, and I got in line for like a tarot reading. I don't think it was real. In the line, I met this girl who is pursuing music, and she's a singer, and I asked her, I was like, hey, what do you do with music? Like, do you want to produce? Do you just want to sing and perform? And she was like, I just want to do all of it. And we ended up talking more, we really connected, and like she was really, really cool. And at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm currently writing my screenplay of like my passion project feature film that I want to produce one day, and it's set in the early 2000s, so I need a cool like pop rock soundtrack that I want for the whole thing. And she immediately was like, heck yeah, take my Instagram whenever you need someone to write the soundtrack, hit me up. She has a song on her Apple Music that sounds exactly like what I would want for my feature film. What are the odds of that? I don't know. Again, do the thing, you never know what might happen. Another highlight is that I worked on 3 short films this year, and I ended up working with a production company that literally is only 1 year old this month. I became their production coordinator, and I worked with them on 3 different short films, and I learned so much on all 3 films. I met so many people, and again, it was just so fun. And all of this was because I applied. I saw on their Instagram that they were looking for a line producer, and I was a line producer for my thesis. I hated it. I hated being in charge of the money. I couldn't do it because, you know, mathematics. I almost didn't apply because I was like, I don't want to be a line producer for the rest of my career. But I was in the middle of my quarter life crisis, and I felt like I wasn't doing anything to further my career or even start my career. I had been out of school, I think, for like a year at that point, and I felt already like I was behind because, one, I technically graduated late. I was feeling very behind, like I already graduated late, and I had no leads after school for, you know, what I was gonna do or where I was gonna start. And becoming the production coordinator and working with this production company really jump started me being in this industry. And even though I have yet to get paid for any like kind of work, I don't care because I'm learning so much. Like, I don't know, I just feel so much more like I have my head in the game, and I think truthfully that's what matters. I also started working as like a glitter tattoo artist for events, and I'm training to do balloon animals and be a balloon artist. This is such a side quest, but like it's so fun. I think about it sometimes because a part of me is so like adamant on working in my industry and blah 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 blah, and that's what I need to pursue and that's what I need to get done right now. So I avoided this job, actually the specific job, for a while. However, once I started doing it, I was like, why can't I just do something for the plot? Like, why can't I just do something just for fun? And so I finally said yes, and I finally started doing it, and it is so fun. We go all all over LA. We've been to, you know, Santa Clarita, we've been to Simi Valley, we've been to, you know, we've been all over the San Fernando Valley, we've been in Santa Monica, and we've been all the way to like Rancho Cucamonga, and we literally just like set up balloons for decor. I've done events at like Valley College, and I do glitter tattoos on little kids, and we did like, I think we did the St. Jude's walk, and I did glitter tattoos there, and it's just a cool job. Like, it's just cool. It takes you to all kinds of random places, and again, you meet all kinds of people. I just think it's cool for the plot. It's fun, and it's a good way for me to make extra money, and I don't know, I love it. Another thing that was really a highlight was getting closer to my cousin Alisa this year. We just never really connected, and I think for a long time her and I were too scared to really be each other's friends. But in the past year, I think it was, I took her to see Wicked. She was like my 7th time seeing Wicked. I took her to see it. That trip of her visiting LA, we both realized that we are literally the same person, and we have so much in common, and we both have like views and aspirations for our lives that I think are not so, like, I guess conventional. We're both very like, do the thing, apply to the job, talk to that person, you know, go here, go there, do this, do that, because why not? Because she's always down for anything. She's always down for something exciting and interesting and fun. And she made a trip out here to LA in, when was it? October. She came down for Halloween, and we drove down to San Diego to visit my other friend, Vanessa, and we ended up having a blast. I have a vlog about that. I have a vlog, and it was so fun, and we literally just went out and had fun and had a great time. And because she told me that she was going to be in LA for a few days, and I was like, hey, how do you feel about an impromptu trip to San Diego? And she was like, heck yeah. And that trip, I don't know, it was so fun. It makes me want to go down to San Diego again, because me, Lisa, and Vanessa, we had such a great time. I just want to be a little bit more impromptu like that, a little bit more spontaneous. A lot of people have responsibilities and things that, you know, don't allow them to be as spontaneous, so it's cool to have a friend, a cousin, a family member who's down to be spontaneous and just do fun chat. And I guess the highlight in general is like all the new people I've met this year. I've met so many people. I'm like a brand new Caitlin, guys. I'm not even kidding. I'm so social. Ask Jocelyn. She says I'm social all the time. I feel like I've finally come into myself as an adult, and I'm just ready to conquer the world, okay? I'm ready to do the thing. I want to be the kind of person where if someone asks you how I'm doing, you say, she's just living her life. Last time I heard, she was doing this random thing. She was with this random person in this random place, just living her life. I was so scared for my future when I was in the middle of my quarter life crisis because I had no answers, but I think I'm finally comfortable in not knowing. Anything can happen. I could travel. I could be famous for all I know. I don't know. I can do anything. Life's what you make it, so let's make it right. Make it. Did you know Hannah Montana's going on tour? Not Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. Someone buy me tickets. Okay, now that, oh, hello? Now that all of my yarn is wound, I feel like it's only appropriate that I give you guys a yarn tour. Do you want the house tour? Can you believe that Sabrina Carpenter was on tour for literally like a year and a half? She was in LA twice for multiple nights. I think the last time she was in LA it was like 5 nights or something crazy like that, and each night sold out. Can you believe she was on tour for that long? And I didn't see her once. I have a lot of like random skeins, like, you know, like this. It's like this and then this. Like, what am I gonna make with that? A lot of my yarn I think is good for scrap yarn projects like tapestries, etc, etc. I'm gonna show you guys yarns. If you guys have any idea what kind of scrap yarn project or what kind of project in general I can incorporate said yarns into, give me ideas in the comments. Thank you very much. I have a lot of these like thicker yarns that are like soft. See, I have like this velvety red yarn. I have this like terracotta orange fluffy yarn. I also have like this beige. Looks white. It's like a cream off-white color. And then I have the same kind of yarn in this like purple. So these are all great. I love the texture of them. They're really soft. I'm not 100% positive what to make. Like, what can I incorporate these into, guys? Like, what can I use these for? So I have this big cake of like this green. It has like some browns in it. I love this color. This I think for a while was my only green until I discovered this green. So yeah, I don't know what I should make with this. I feel like I could make like a top, some kind of shirt or something. I don't know. Leave suggestions. Does YouTube let you leave photos? If it does, you should leave photo suggestions. It's almost one full, if you know how big like the Karen cakes are, it's almost one whole Karen cake. I think it's like 75% of the original cake. So I think I'm able to make something for myself to wear if I crochet it, not if I knit it. Suggestions? I don't know. I also have this blue, which I think is beautiful. I don't remember if I made myself a scarf with this blue or if I made my ex-boyfriend a scarf with this blue. But I have like, look at this. Look how much yarn is left. Like, what can I make with this? I'm thinking maybe a beanie and like some fingerless gloves to match. We're all one cake together, but Maple, she like bit my yarn and like ate it while I was using it. This was the yarn that I used to learn knitting on. I was gonna make a scarf, but then I got bored, so then I made my raglan sweater instead. What should I make with this? Should I make a scarf? What should I do with it? Lastly, I have this beautiful blue cake that I started making something with, as you can see. And I don't know, I just think it's so beautiful. I think this is the one I'm gonna make a raglan sweater out of, because I wanted like a loose spring/summer sweater. You know, imagine the kind of sweater you would like wear to the beach. Even though I probably would wear like a normal hoodie to the beach, but like if I wanted to look beachy, you know. I have a whole other cake of this that I have yet to open, so whatever suggestions you have for this, 10 out of 10, let me know, because I have a whole other one. Like I could do whatever I wanted with this yarn. If I wanted to knit something, I could knit something. If I wanted to crochet something, I could do that too. And I think either way, I would have something that fits me, and then that's really cute. Last suggestion I need is this. It's like, I have a lot of these cakes, okay, of these colors that like blend, and I just don't know what to do with them. I don't know, because they're one cake, so it's like, and when I'm done with the project, I don't want to have so much left over that I have to like have another random small cake like this. Like, I want to use all of it. Suggestions are appreciated. I think all that's left now is to just put everything back. I think for sure I'm going to put my blanket into the kitty cat, and I'm going to put my work in progress into my basket. I also have this. It's so fluffy, but it's like not enough to use for anything, so I don't know. I think this would be really cute on the trim for like a hood or something. But am I crocheting a hood anytime soon? No. And am I crocheting something with a hood specifically to use this yarn? No. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, I for sure have to color coordinate everything. I'm getting to the part where I want to quit, but like all of my stuff is out now, so I have like, there's no going back. I guess we could do, I don't know, red. I'm now going to tell you guys about my goals for next year, or this year, now, 2026. I for sure have regular goals, like I want to go back to the gym, 100%. I have other goals too, like simple goals, like I want to read more, you know, I want to cook more. Those are like the simple ones that I feel like I just need to build a routine around. But then there's other ones that I have, like big goals for 2026. I like to call these goals rather than like New Year's resolutions. One of my first big goals that I want to accomplish this year, guys, I want to leave my serving job. And a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, of course, you can do it. Right, okay. The economy sucks right now. Also, don't know if you guys are aware of everything that's happening in our country. I chose the worst possible time to be an adult. I have a lot of blues. I've applied to so many jobs, and I was being picky at first, and I didn't want to get a job that was another serving job. I was like, I refuse. I specifically want a job in the industry. I want to be someone's assistant. I want to just, you know, get on my TA grind. And I also want a job that like gives me some flexibility, so that way I can, you know, keep uploading on YouTube and keep working on short films on the side. And like probably next year when I'm doing my feature film, I won't have to like request time off work to do, you know what I mean? Like I want something flexible that pays my rent, that helps me live comfortably. And guess what? Serving's the only job that really checks all those marks. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. But even besides all that, I just want to leave serving. I want to leave customer service. I want to be in a job where I get to be creative. I want to feel fulfilled with the jobs that I'm doing to pay my rent. So typically when you're a freelancer, you want to have streams of income coming from a bunch of different places. Like when YouTubers do brand deals, or when YouTubers tell you to subscribe to their Patreon, or when YouTubers tell you to buy their merch or check out their other blog or whatever. And they're trying to make income streams from as many different places as possible, and that is how they make their living. So yeah, I feel like I want to be one of those people. That's for me, I think, the next chapter of my life professionally. I used to think that the next chapter of my life professionally was being a producer, and I am a producer, speak things into existence, but I have yet to be paid to produce, so that's not you know, practical to sustain my life and myself. Therefore, I think the next big thing for me, at least my next goal, is to pursue a bunch of different streams of income. With that being said, I would like to announce my next big goal, 2026. And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, guys. I want to monetize my YouTube channel. I feel like everyone, since I've started my channel, I could totally be projecting, but I feel like ever since I've started my channel, people have thought like the point of having my YouTube is to be a YouTuber. Like, of course I started a YouTube channel to pursue YouTube and be a YouTuber, etc, etc, etc. But like, that's not necessarily true. I did start my YouTube channel hoping that like it would blow up and like I wouldn't have to work the jobs I was working anymore, and I could just easily, quote unquote, make money on the internet. But I've never truly applied myself to YouTube. I've never really like uploaded consistently. So very quickly into having my YouTube channel, I learned that like it's not that simple for me to say that, oh, I want to have a YouTube channel and I want to be a YouTuber. There's a lot of work that goes into being a YouTuber and creating content regularly. I think if you've ever tried to make a TikTok or a YouTube video or a YouTube channel, you get hit with a lot of things that you didn't even think about. I think a lot of people don't realize that a big majority of YouTubing is editing. It's editing. I very quickly realized this, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna have my channel to do me. But then I'll admit, for years and years and years, I kept trying to make a YouTube video that would go viral. All it resulted in was me making content that I, one, didn't even really like, two, didn't even really want to watch. And so I became very quickly discouraged because I was like, if I'm not gonna watch my own videos, who will? And lately I finally had a revelation in my content creating that I want to create content that I would watch. And also, I finally don't care anymore about what other people think about me when it comes to my content. I used to be so insecure, and I would be like, I need to be funnier. I'm not funny enough. I'm not entertaining enough for this. I'm not blank enough to be a YouTuber. Therefore, I never genuinely gave it a shot. And in the past 6 months, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? This genuinely is something that I want. Now in 2026, I'm going to properly allow myself the space and the time to really commit to YouTube. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been uploading more regularly than I usually do. I haven't uploaded in like a month. But 2026 will be different, okay? Even if I only make like 80 bucks a month or something on YouTube, like I want to have YouTube be one of my income streams, I'm telling you. And that will just be the beginning of me building a foundation of a bunch of different income streams and then leaving the service industry. So yeah, that's my plan. You guys are special because I don't just tell my plan to everybody. For a long time, I also didn't even want to admit that I wanted to monetize my YouTube channel because it felt like it wasn't something that was attainable for me. And I also just was a little bit embarrassed to admit that I wanted to be a YouTuber. YouTube has changed so much in the past 10 years. There's like whole production companies that make their income primarily on YouTube. And it's just different now. It's a different platform. But I did a deep dive of YouTube, and now I found like YouTubers that I genuinely enjoy watching. I found like crafting YouTubers that I enjoy watching. I found, you know, outdoorsy YouTubers that, you don't know, like their videos are just calm and interesting to watch, and I like the sounds whenever they set up their equipment. I've found YouTubers that have really influenced me in the whole like do the thing mentality, do it scared mentality, where they're just like, F it, just go do it, it's your life, you can do whatever you want with it. And I've also found YouTubers that I personally would, you know, be their friend. Now that I have a new community of YouTubers that I enjoy watching in this day and age of like the type of YouTube that we have in 2026, I'm re-inspired, and I've completely reimagined what my channel should be like. I spent so much time and effort thinking that every video needed to go viral, but guess what? It doesn't. The right video will go viral. It'll probably be a video that I literally don't care about, but I think that's why I look at my channel differently now. I think I said somewhere at some point on my channel that I finally understood like what video diary meant, and it's like literally just a diary of your life, but you just say it to a camera instead of writing it down in a diary. And so now I'm like, don't know where to put this. It's like 7 different colors. Trying to hone that mentality when it comes to my channel, and to just look at my channel as a way to, again, just document my life. I imagine that me showing up authentically every single time on my channel will mean that no matter what video people land on when they find my channel, will be 100% authentic, and they're more likely to enjoy the content that way versus me like actively trying to be likable for the sake of the algorithm. I firmly believe that you have to speak things into existence. So this is me speaking this into existence, and hopefully next year I can look back at this video and be like, I did the thing. Look how full this is. I still have so much crap on the floor, you don't even want to see it. So I'm gonna let my camera charge and I'm gonna finish, and then I'll give you guys a tour after. I don't know. Okay, so it's the next day, and I'm done. Also, I realized when I was done filming that I forgot one of my goals for this year, and that is to work on a feature film. I think it's possible, okay? And also finally start getting some paid gigs, because I've been doing a lot of producing unpaid. It's part of the grind, but I want to work on a feature film, and I want to start getting paid for my work. So 2026, I was gonna just not talk about it because I already forgot to talk about it, but then I remembered the whole like speaking things into existence thing. Anyway, without further ado, this is my yarn tour. Okay, you're gonna have to excuse my balloon animals, okay? I'm practicing. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna like put all this stuff and put it in my kitty cat. I didn't do that. You know why? Because I went like this, and I saw the chaos that was underneath, and I was like, I'm not dealing with it. So you know what? We shall add another goal to 2026, and that will be to finish my 2024 temperature blanket. For the kitty cat, I ended up putting these like bulkier yarns because I fit basically all of my yarn into the trunk, but then I still had these like thick yarns that I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. All of this random yarn up here that I actually didn't touch or like rewind up or I didn't wind up or anything. These are the ones that are attached to like my little chicken tapestries, and so once I finish this project, this will hopefully be emptier. Let me show you the trunk. Okay guys, it doesn't look organized. It is, okay? It's an organized mess. Ta-da! I know it looks like chaos, but hear me out. There's just nothing I can do about this, okay? It's just a big thing of like fiber fill for like stuffed animals, amigurumi stuff. I also put a lot of like scrap yarn in here because, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle. This is a bag where it just has like random things that I've crocheted in it. Like this is when I did like a prototype for like a bikini kind of thing, and then never ended up making a bikini. You know, just stuff that like I crocheted but like don't really use, nor do I have another place for it. And I have like other crafting things in here. Like I have little like paper baggies, crochet. I have this. This was gifted to me as well. Wait, this looks fun. I want to do this. This is one of my resistance bands because Caitlin gets carpal tunnel now, and I need to exercise my wrist. This is a sweater I started, but I got pissed off. I realized that the needle size that I was using was just way too big, and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted, so I stopped. But aside from that, this is my yarn stash. Ta-da! It's actually very organized, okay? I showed you guys earlier I had like multiple cakes that were like the same cake that ended up getting divided into a bunch of little ones. So those are all together on the top. Here, 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 here. That's one. Here, here, here. This one and that one. If you look underneath, everything's pretty color coordinated. I don't know if you could tell, but I kind of started in the back here, and I started with red, and I went red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then I went into, and then on this side it kind of gets into like whites, creams, grays, black, etc. And then on this side you have like cakes and skeins that like I have yet to open, just because I didn't know where else to put them. And I wanted to fit as much yarn in here as possible, so that's where they live now. Ignore my bed, I have to fold my laundry. I'm actually pretty shocked at how much of my yarn I was able to fit in my trunk. And now I like have a better understanding of what I have. And now I'm on this like kick to get a bunch of my yarn projects done. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, I have 4 yarn projects, like crochet and knitting included, that I want to get done, 4 videos specifically. And then after that, I think I might go crazy and just work on a bunch of things. Organizing my yarn made me restart watching Kate B's Her channel is just like all things fiber arts. She's just a very crafty person. She crochets, she knits, she designs her own patterns, she dyes her own yarn, she knows how to spin her own yarn, she sews, like she does everything. She does all the crafts. And in binging her content, I became more inspired to complete all my projects and then make more projects. Like now I'm already thinking about projects that I want to start now to have for spring, or more specifically summer, more realistically summer. And a lot of the projects I want to do are crochet projects, which means that I think I can actually get through them quicker. I'm a way faster crocheter than I am knitter. I think that just makes sense. Knitting just, I feel like, takes forever to build up. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching yet another video where I reference my quarter life crisis and actually listen to me yap about it, because it was hard and I survived it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Give me some credit. I hope everyone watching this had a good 2025, and if you didn't, then I hope that you took, at least at the very minimum, some valuable lessons and, you know, from 2025 and whatever adversity you had to go through. And I hope you have an even better 2026. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.